Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Long with Reading Is Fantastical here with another great book review for you today. So, let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever been in a parade? I mean, just marched in it, or, perhaps one of the folks that are sitting in the floats and stuff in the parade? And aren't they loud and have lots of people, with signs and things of that nature? Now, have you ever heard of a silent parade? Hmm. Well, there was one. Let's learn a little bit about it. Let's go to the first page here, and there it is. There's the title of the next book, Let Us March On. And you see that I have a copy of that book. And let's read like the subtitle here, James Weldon Johnson and the Silent Protest Parade. The Silent Protest Parade. Very interesting. We're going to learn a little bit about James Weldon Johnson and something else that he did that we're still talking about, including the parade, of course. Let's go to the next page. There it is, inside cover. Let me go ahead and read it here with you as I get caught up. James Weldon Johnson was a man of words. He had once penned a poem so uplifting, so inspiring, and so beautiful that people called it the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing. People often turned to James for advice in troubling times, and now was one of those times. White people were hurting black people in scary and shocking ways. Let us march, James said, in New York City, a big protest on the biggest avenue in the biggest city in the country. And he said, let's make it a silent march. No chanting, no cheering, just serious, somber silence. Inspiring and triumphant, this is the story of the Silent Protest Parade, the first mass all Black march for civil rights in the United States. So, this is, of course, part of the Black History Month series. We're still in the month of February, so it kind of concludes. I think we have one. Yeah, we have one more, so we'll probably go one more with that. I think you'll enjoy it. But right now, I just want to make sure to read this to you. Let's go to the next page. All right, get caught up here in the slides here. Okay, this is the copyright page. Make sure you pay attention to the copyright page as we always do to find out who the author is and the illustrator is, and of course, who the publisher is, and any information that they have in there is going to be helpful to you. All right, let's go to the next page. And there's the author page. I always like to make sure to highlight the author and the illustrator. Okay, so we want to make sure we highlight the illustrator, writer being Yohuru Williams and Michael G. Long. And the art illustrations is by Zia Gordon. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. All right, let's go to the next page. All right, so let's see here. Now, let's find out. Okay, are you ready to get to the story? Are you sitting comfortably? Are you relaxed? Do you have your reading ears on? Are you being quiet like the silent protest? Are you keeping your hands to yourself? All right, let's go. All right. All right, so here's the first page, page one, getting you caught up. Okay, so it looks like we're seeing the back of somebody's head, or it looks like they're looking somewhere. Let's find out what that's all about. Let's go to the next page. All right, so we see a young lady here. When James Weldon Johnson spoke, people listened silently, making sure they heard everything. Let's go to the next page. And we'll see him, most likely that's him there, writing something down. James was a man of words, a brilliant lawyer, an inspiring teacher, and a distinguished poet. It's like he may be penning something right now, huh? Go to the next page. All right, looks like he's shaking somebody's hand, greeting people, speaking, being out and present, being a very distinguished person. Go to the next page. He had once penned a poem so uplifting, so inspiring, so beautiful that people called it the Black National Anthem. I like these people, they're really happy about the words of the Black National Anthem, right? Lift every voice and sing. Let's go to the next page. And there we lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Okay, that's how it starts. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Looks like they're enjoying it. Man has his eyes closed. He's really liking it now, right? When you get your eyes closed, when you're closing your eyes. Go to the next page. People often turn to James for advice in troubling times. As a man of words, he knew what to say. And now was one of those times. White people had long hurt black people, but in recent days, violent attacks had increased in scary and shocking ways. Go to the next page. Wow, we saw previously in another page the smoke. Now we see where it's coming from this fire, right? Somebody must have had their house or something burned down. Wow, it's pretty sad. Go to the next page. All right, so we see some people kind of hanging out. Maybe they're listening to another speech or something. Let's find out. Let's go to the next page, find out what that's all about. Let's read what's on the words. James decided to hold a meeting and make a plan. When it was his turn to speak, everyone leaned forward, silently, expectantly. James cleared his throat. I have an idea, he said. Leaning in, see what's going on. Let's go to the next page. Let us march, he said, in New York City. A big protest on the biggest avenue in the biggest city in the country. Okay, so we see all the various signs and stuff in New York City. Go to the next page. Okay, more arts and stuff, shadows of New York City. Okay, I kind of like this eclectic look the illustrator put on. Let's go to the next page. And he said, slowly and quietly, let's make it a silent march. No chanting, no cheering, no chuckling, just serious, somber silence. It's amazing how silence can be heard very loudly from people. Because that speaks because something different, right? Go to the next page. All right, so he's leaning in, talking. People are listening because he has something to say, right? He has a history of that. And they respect that, right? Let's go to the next page. You know me as a man of words, James explained. You know me as a man of words, James explained. But sometimes silence can be more powerful and attract more attention than yelling and screaming and shouting. Because everybody expects that, right? I see where he's going. Go to the next page. I believe that our silence will show others how much we hurt and how strong and serious we are. Then James waited silently, expectantly, hopefully. Finally, the room, go to the next page, erupted, right? Erupted. Yes, let's do it. As James felt the room, go to the next page, of course I'm already there, shaking with excitement, he saw several children already practicing their march steps. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let's march on till victory is won. Those are more lines um, from his poem, right? All right, let's go to the next page. James and his co-leaders worked hard throughout the next week. They mapped a parade route down Fifth Avenue. They asked government officials for permission to protest. You always got to get permission for these to be legal, right? Got to have permission. Make sure you do things right and in order, right? Go to the next page. They wrote flyers explaining the purpose of the march. They enlisted nurses to take care of anyone who might become sick along the way, maybe marching and you can't march very, very far or something like that, or maybe it's too hot. They don't have enough water, something like that. Okay, maybe they trip, right? Okay. They dotted every I and crossed every T as they prepared for the big day. Big day meaning the march, the silent march. Right? Let's go to the next page. The day of the march was terribly hot and humid, but James noticed a slight breeze as he walked to the corner of Fifth Avenue and 59th Street, where the march would begin. Right, let's go to the next page. As James approached the corner, he couldn't believe what he saw. Next page. 10,000 people were ready to march. A stern-looking man barked out orders. At 1 p.m. sharp, Keep marching down Fifth Avenue and keep quiet. This is a silent march. Somebody take control. Keep everybody in line, right? Let's go to the next page. That sounds like a pretty good person. James helped to lead the march as a man of words. He felt an urge to speak every now and then, but then he kept silent. Hmm? The only sound came from quietly beating drums that kept everyone in step. Wow, that's cool. Doom, 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 maybe something like that. Finally, next page. Finally came the adults. Women first, then men. Rather than saying anything, they carried signs with messages about equality, fairness, and the contributions that Black people had made to the United States. Right? Different signs and stuff going on. Go to the next page. Okay. There it is. Let's go to the next page. One sign referred to Crispus Attucks, a Black man killed at the beginning of the Revolutionary War. Wow. Next page. I want to see people here standing in their outfits. Go to the next page. Some more people standing. Looks like a sign up behind them or above them. Good. More abstract. Okay. Go to the next page. All right. See, see a little girl or something on their daddy's head marching. That's pretty good. All right. Next page. Let's read the words here. About 20,000 spectators marveled as large groups of people marched by silently, protesting hatred and violence. So they're against hatred and violence, right? That's why you're protesting. Go to the next page. At the end of the march, near Fifth Avenue and 23rd Street, James wiped the sweat from his brow. As a man of words, he wanted to thank everyone. Next page here. As a man of words, he wanted to thank everyone for coming. But before he could say anything, the silent marchers, okay, go to the next page, erupted. Let's find out what they erupted about. Of course, about the march. Let's see what they have to say. Let's go to the next page. They had done it. 10,000 marchers had displayed bravery and strength and determination. They had shown because of their silence that they would never remain silent when Black people were hurt and treated unfairly. Right? Doing something against conventional wisdom, against something that you think that people were going to do. As they all reflected, next page, as they all reflected on what they had just accomplished, every mind and heart echoed the words from James's famous poem. Okay, next page. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Right? Let's go to the next page. All right, that was pretty cool, huh? So this is just some notes from the author about the silent protest parade. Let me read a little bit about staged by the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People in AACP on July 28, 1917, long time ago, was a new idea born of the terrible violence African Americans faced at the turn of the 20th century. All right, let's go to the next page. Second half of author's notes. Go right to the end. Today, the parade stands as an inspiring reminder of the power of protest in all forms, including silence, and the power and resilience of young people in the face of ongoing racial hatred and violence. Right? All right. And so this last page is the poem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem, quote unquote, in all three stanzas. A lot of times people only read the first one, but now we have listed here all three. And once again, and this kind of ends this book here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but I want to make sure that you guys pick up this book. It's pretty good. It's very easy to read, something that the kids will enjoy, and you can definitely educate yourself, other people, family, and especially the kiddos about Lift Every Voice and Sing. A lot of times people don't know exactly what it's about. So this is what can give you some really cool history in a short version so they can kind of learn and then see the pictures of what people encountered during those times. All right. So we love you guys. Like, share, and subscribe once again. This is Mr. Lawrence.